Alright, so when creating scales, you have whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, which is all the notes. So you have every note next to each other on piano and guitar is a half step. 7 notes out of the 12 notes possible. So you C scale is you have a whole step from C to D, C, C sharp, D. You have a whole step from D to E, D sharp to E, and then you have a half step, which is the third one. So whole half from E to F is a half step, and then another whole step, F sharp, G. That's the next one would be G. Then we do half steps, G sharp, A. That's the next note, A, and then we go a full whole step, which is A sharp to B, and then we go a full half step, which is to the back to the C. Whole, half, whole, half resolves on the C. And then you take the 5th note of that scale, which is the G, and that becomes the next scale. So it goes from G, whole step, to A, whole step, to B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step to E, whole step to F sharp, E, F, F sharp, and then it goes to a half step back to G. And then we take the 5th note of that scale, so we are on G, so be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, be the D note. And then we take the D note and we sharpen the last note of the 7 notes as well. And then that becomes, you carry over the sharp from the last scale as well. So it's D, whole step, E, whole step, F sharp, half step, whole half. You're on the G note now. And then the A note is a whole step from G to G sharp to A, from A to A sharp to B, and then it's a whole step as well, which goes to the next sharp of the scale, which makes it a C sharp, and then resolves half step back to D. And then you take the 5th note of that scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D, E, F sharp, G, A. A is the next scale now. So then we go back to the A note, and it goes start on the A note, and then you go whole, half from C sharp to D. So it's A, you skip the A sharp, go to B, you skip the C, go to C sharp. That's 2 wholes, and then we're to the half step now, the 3rd step of the scale, and then it goes to a D, and then the full step again is whole, half, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have whole back to the E, and then from E to F sharp, that's a whole step right there. And then we go a whole step as well from G to A sharp, and the A sharp is now the new sharp, and then it resolves back to A. And then we take the 5th note of that scale, and we go from A, so 5 notes, A, B, C sharp, D, E. E is now the next scale that is in line to add a sharp. So we have E, whole step to F sharp, whole step to G sharp, and then we have a half step to A, and we have a whole step to B, whole step to C sharp, whole step to D sharp, and resolves back onto the E, half step. And we take the 5th note of that scale, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B is the next major scale. So then it goes B, whole step to C sharp, whole step to D sharp, half step to E, whole step to F sharp, whole step to A sharp, whole step to a B sharp. A G sharp to A sharp. Had that backwards. And then it resolves a half step to the B. So B, C sharp, whole step, D sharp, whole step, half step to E, whole step to F sharp, whole step to G sharp, whole step to A sharp, half step to B. And now we take that scale and we go to the fifth note as well, which is we have B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, I'm sorry, E sharp would be F, E sharp, E, so B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. So that's the fifth note. So that's the fifth note. And now it's the F sharp scale. F sharp major scale. So it goes F sharp, we go a whole step to G sharp, we go a whole step to A sharp, we go a half step to B, and then we go a full whole step to C sharp, we go a full whole step to D sharp, we go a full whole step to F now. F is the next because it's a whole step, so we skip over the E, go to F. The sharp of E is F, and then resolve on the F sharp. And then we take the fifth note of that scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's now the C sharp major scale. So we go we start on the C sharp, go a whole step, which is a D sharp. We go a whole step, which is F. We go a half step, which is F sharp. We go a whole step, which is G sharp. We go a whole step, which is A sharp. We go a whole step now, which is C. And then we go a half step, which is C sharp, resolves back to C sharp. As a C sharp scale. And you can follow that same whole half pattern anywhere. So if you want the scale for E flat major, which I mean that gets into flats, which is a different direction than sharps. Like what's sharp of C sharp? Let's find that scale real quick. So we go 5 notes up. 1, 2, 3. That's the wrong note. Whole step. So we follow the whole step half step pattern, just so we don't get lost. So we start on the C sharp. We go whole, half, whole. So that's the 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It becomes the A sharp major scale. So then that goes to whole, half, or sorry, whole, half, whole, half. Which that kind of gets into the flats now. You're just going backwards, so the sharps and flats get a little bit backwards. But if you follow that whole, half pattern, you're able to get a scale from anywhere. So we'll go to the B flat major scale, which is a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, which resolves back to the B sharp.